So we had some battles in this month here, late April 1864. I'm going to go over that in a moment. Just a quick overall disposition for the East over in Virginia. As you can see, not a whole lot of movement going on over here. Then we are kind of moving our way up in here to try and take over a city or two that's like a level 1, and then use our plunder cards and get out of there. Okay, so let's go over to Tennessee where the battles occurred. So, as you recall from the last turn, he had like a 9,000 power force under Buell that he was then moving down. It looks like he detached that force and put it under Lyon in another corps. And then I think he was trying to bring all of these guys down across the river, but what looks like all that happened was only one corps made it across, and we'll cover that in a moment here. So let's see. Not sure which battle happened first. Here's the first one. Okay. So this is Mosby. He was just kind of up raiding. He's up here. I'm trying to take out this depot up here, so that's what he's doing. And then I moved Morgan up here to cut the rail line and then get out of there. And then I'm using a partisan to destroy this depot here. So what I'm trying to do is make it very difficult for him to, with either force here, the one over here threatening Memphis, and the force over here coming down towards Chattanooga, to be able to effectively supply themselves. So here's another battle. That's Smith also. So it must have been the other one. Lincoln. Here we go. Okay, so I had 41,600 troops. He only brought 26,600. So I'm not sure what exactly happened. This happened on day 9. So there was 6 days more for the rest of his corps to jump the river and come down. I don't know if they ran out of cohesion, and that's why they couldn't make it, or just very poor leadership, and kind of almost like Fredericksburg, where, you know, Burnside only had a couple divisions across the river, and obviously those divisions got destroyed because they were massively outnumbered by the Confederates, and, you know, the Confederates had the defensive ground like we did here. But he lost almost 5,000 troops, so he's down to 21,000 there, and then we only lost 800. So I'm guessing we could probably get a good national morale swing on that. The only thing I can think of is, here's probably what happened. He crossed the river. He got hit so hard, so fast from the crossing that his troops just fled the battlefield. And so it never gave the other, 10,000 power here the opportunity to cross the river and support. I think that's what happened. But as a result, we think we got like 4 national morale. Let's look here. We got 3 national morale for that, so that's nice. So we're up to 125. And then I don't think there was anything else of note to discuss as far as battles, but we were able to hold, which is the, sorry, let me get over here. It's centered here again. We were able to hold again, which is obviously a good thing. I'm not sure why my general just kind of got stuck here, so I'm going to move him back to put him in Beauregard's army. This is obviously Nashville up here. And then under Polk, we still only have the 2 divisions, but I'm moving forward now another division to make this a 3-division corps. And then I'm also going to move another corps, my kind of floating corps over here behind Joseph E. Johnston. I moved him over here, Forney. So even though he wasn't attached to Beauregard that last battle, he is now attached to Beauregard. I don't know if he can see him down there, but if he decides to cross with these guys and attack me, he's going to be fighting a lot more than he was that last turn. He's going to be fighting a lot more than 41,000 troops. He's probably going to be facing more like 60 or 70,000. And so that should obviously even the odds considerably. So I'm hoping he does attack me. That's my hope here. We'll see. Okay, now notwithstanding that massive army over there, he's still got, what, 5,000? Yeah, 5,000 power force up here. So, I mean, I have more than that, but that's still a lot considering how many he shifted over here. So I'm not sure what he's going to do. He also has Butler up here, 1,900 power force in the rear. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to show you for this turn. I don't think so. I am still training up troops. Sorry, just trying to show you where I'm training. Oh, that's right. So Taylor, I was going to put him here, but given the pressure that he's putting in my front, I'm going to move Taylor up to Chattanooga. That way he can do two things. One, defend in the event that we're attacked because he is a 4-2-2. But then also, obviously, train up troops and then move them to the various fronts. Because we are on the primary rail line from the west to the east, it's a good spot to have, you know, troops being trained because I can ship them east relatively quickly. I can ship them to the deep south pretty quickly, and I can also ship them west fairly quickly. So I'm going to move him up there. And then over here in Texas, not a lot going on other than just epic fail on our part. And then as far as builds are concerned, just building some artillery, doing replacements as best I can because our inflation is 26%. So not a whole lot I can build right now. Didn't even do the rail pool this turn like I like to do every time this event comes up. And that's about it. Okay, so let's run the turn, and then I will be back. Not a lot happening in early May 1864. However, there's a couple things I wanted to highlight before simulating the turn. One, I was able to take out this depot up here, so that was good. I was not able to take this place out, and I figured he'd moved troops in, so I moved Mosby out of there. Did tear up the rail line pretty effectively though. It looks like he's pulling out, so that 10,000 force is now down to 5,900. So I doubt he would attack me with half of what he actually had here. So I'm guessing he's trying to get this guy out of there. So that's good for us. I'm gonna hold Forney here just one more turn before just so I can kind of try and anticipate where he's going next. He might be shifting everything towards Memphis now, which if he does, I'll rail him over and reconnect him with Joseph E. Johnston. I am still every turn getting about 11 money per turn from that blockade, those blockade runners. So that's pretty cool. And then also too, so long as I'm holding down here in Texas, Galveston, Texas, occasionally I get that $50 for cotton being smuggled out because I do not use the export bales card. Because I don't use this, then so long as Galveston is in my hold, occasionally I get that $50 cotton to fire. Because as you can see here, it even says this. You have to export one stock of bale from your plantation for blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if he goes ahead and takes... Oh, so it's actually Matagorda. Okay, it's not Galveston. Interesting. Now, if he takes that, then I think both the 50 cash that I get from time to time and that $1,000 card go away. So that's gonna suck. I don't think there's anything else that we really need to go over besides the builds, and then I'll simulate the turn. Probably what I'll do at some point is just give you the lay of the land, since it's been a little bit since I've kind of shown you the overall disposition of things. Now I'm kind of transitioned a little bit on my builds. What I'm trying to do now is I'm just going to build militia, send them up to Taylor to train up, and then I'm building artillery independently. It's a little bit more economical doing it this way. It takes a little bit more time, obviously, but I'm kind of I have this window right now where I don't necessarily need forces to the front immediately, and so it kind of allows me to get away with having to build, line infantry right up front. So I'm going to do that probably for the next few months at least, just doing militia and artillery, and then trying to get these replacement numbers down even further. Then rail pool, don't have the money to spend again, which is going to probably start hurting me here pretty soon, so I will start investing in that again. Okay. And with that, let's simulate the turn and see what happens. So in early June, what I'll do is I'll give you an overall lay of the land. That may or may not be a new video or not. I'm not sure where I'm at on time for this, but What I'll do is I'll kind of show you overall losses of troops and just kind of geographically where we stand. Now, he did move Custer down here. I'm not sure what he's up to, but I'm going to move Stewart over there and attack him anyways. I'm not sure if he's trying to cut off my rail line here, because he also did put a irregular here as well, with some sort of intent of moving either down here to cut off my west to east rail line, or to move on McCown's forces. The reason I say that, it's not totally outlandish to think that he might be doing that, because he does have a size 2 depot up here, which is peculiar. Why would you put a depot up here? And then I think he's got one back here. Yeah, so why is he pulling supply forward like that? I don't know. So I'm a little wary of it, so I'm just going to move him in there, push him out. Looks like he's got some scouts going on here, so don't know what that's about. Not anything going on in the deep south at the moment. Let's go over to Tennessee. So he's completely pulled out of here. I was tempted to attack him, but the thing was he had that 1,300 in my territory, right? And I had him outnumbered considerably. But he also had like 6,000 up here, which probably could have come to support him. So I didn't want to, risk a full pitch battle where I would effectively get some sort of Pyrrhic victory. Where maybe I won, but I lost a ton of troops in the process. I can't afford that. He can. So it looks like he's shifting over towards Memphis now, at least from what I can tell. You got Buell over here. You got almost 1,000 power force here, 600, 2-3, 4,300, and then Sherman's moving down. So to play it safe, I'm going to move Forney back over. That'll give me 4 corps over here to cover that. In the event that he decides to attack me. I don't think he's going to, though, because he hasn't really attacked. He hasn't attacked my entrenched positions the entire game, but by accident, right? So I just don't. I don't think he's gonna do that. If he does, he's gonna go after probably Johnson here, and he's gonna throw like everything he's got into my flank here. That's what I would think he would do. Or he would sail down the river here and then land down here where this fort is. That's why I put this fort here for 2 reasons. One, if I lose Memphis, it'll slow down and advance from west to east. But then also, too, if he lands in this river here, it'll stick him here. He won't be able to move on Corinth until he takes this fort because of zone of control. So I'm going to put some stuff in that fort to ensure that. Otherwise, not a whole lot going on. I'm starting to dig in down here in the event that he does take Memphis. I want to, stop his approach from west to east. I suspect he's gonna, because he's already kind of moving down here. I wouldn't be surprised he starts moving down into the interior of Texas. So I've got 2 forces down here. They're not like great, but they're okay. There's that, which it's not even okay. And then that. So I mean, it is what it is. If I lose it, no biggie. My only reason that I don't want to lose this area down here is because of the cotton, that the cotton money that I get down here. I don't get really any conscripts. I don't really get any money from any of these areas here in Texas. They're really kind of worthless, to be honest with you. So, but the cotton's worth a lot. So I really would rather not lose it if at all possible. And yeah, so because I mean, like here, we just click the town. So no money. We get 1 money and 1 conscript here. That's it. Then a little bit of ammo. That's all we get from Austin. And then we get nothing from... Oh, we get 5 conscripts from there. Okay. So we do get some stuff from there. That'll hurt. I do not want to lose conscripts. That's San Antonio. So, and then what about here? Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what he brings down, and then I'll kind of have to go from there to figure out if I want to send more forces over here to help. The alternative too is, since I do have the river and rail line, is to wait for him to push down and then just kind of come in the rear and hit him that way. Maybe that's a way to do it too. Okay, so that's about all there is to report as far as the front. Again, militia and artillery. Then just a little bit a little bit on the replacements, because I just don't have the money right now. Our inflation is 26% still because of that stupid event that happened. I don't think there's really any battles to report on. Okay. I can print money now, but the problem is more inflation. So I'm trying to get my inflation down at least a little bit before I burn that card. Okay, let's run the turn and be back. Okay, so as promised, I was going to give you an overview of the lay of the land, what the strategic numbers look like as it currently stands, casualties, all this stuff. But first, let's go over the moves and the various things that are happening, because there is some big movement happening this turn. So first, we got a new general. We got Ramser. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. He's actually a 422. He's pretty good. The reason that his numbers are lower is because I just created him into a division. He does have the reckless trait. I'm going to send him over to Vicksburg, and I will show you why in a moment. I was caught a little bit out of position because I had moved Forney over here because he's pulling a lot of troops off the front, and it just seemed kind of odd to me. I'm like, where else would he be putting them if not to attack Memphis? So I was thinking maybe he was taking all his forces and he's going to land them up the James in my rear, perhaps. And then what that would have done is give me 2 corps to address that. But now, because again, my priority is to protect Richmond and protect Atlanta. Those are my priorities. But now I'm going to have to rush back and get them back. So I'm going to send them back west, and I'll show you why in a moment. Again, he's tearing up my rail lines over here, which just really make me wonder if he's pushing down through the mountains here, which is possible. I wasn't able to take these cities, unfortunately. I didn't expect to take this one. I was trying to tear up the rail line. I thought I could take this one though, but then I think he spawned some defense, so that's frustrating. He's got this annoying guy right here, probably tearing up my rail line. And then I was thinking about going forward and trying to get up in his rear and tearing up his rail lines and stuff up here. But now that it looks like the attack is going to come somewhere else, I'm going to probably pull back. He's got an okay force here now, right? But not enough to push through me. So it looks like he's kind of just going to stay here and defend. And again, not enough to punch through over here at Memphis. So I was like, what is he up to? Well, I've at least partially figured out what he's up to. One, he did take Little Rock. Yeah, that's fine. I abandoned that and shifted that division over here to Memphis anyways, to kind of shorten my overall front, so that my front is now on the east of the Mississippi. But I am going to move my cavalry down here, and then potentially go after him if he's got a small enough force, just to be annoying. I'm trying to move this guy up here because I have a supply depot here, so I need to burn that. And then I'm going to move this guy here because I have a supply depot here, and I need to burn that. And then here's this wonderful force down near Vicksburg. It is 2 corps, lots of divisions. What is that? 7 divisions total? No, 8 divisions total. So he's got 4 divisions per corps, or even more than that, because he's got a lot of 2-stars in there. Now, interestingly, so now his fleet did take some damage, as you can see here. This is kind of a good illustration of maybe what you need more of in a Union fleet if you want your river transports to take less damage. I don't know how many river transports I sunk, if any, but you can see that his river transports are hurting pretty bad. So if they have to hang out next to Vicksburg for too long, they're probably going to suffer some decent damage, because I do have the batteries in here. But so now, what I'm going to do is I'm trying to get... it's going to take me 2 turns to get over here. So this is going to be really contingent on whether Vicksburg falls. I don't like playing this game of, reaction. This reactionary game where it's like whack-a-mole. I'm just kind of reacting to wherever the moles pop up. But he also has such a large force that I don't foresee, at least as it presently stands, a situation where I can go on the offensive somewhere without really putting myself in a bind. What I mean by that is I could say, you know what? This is 3,500 power that's down here now that he doesn't have at the front. What if I, took Johnston's army and Beauregard's, combined it, and went after Nashville? Cool, right? I take Nashville. Okay, well, he takes Memphis as well as pretty much everything else over here. Now what? I would probably have to put a force in Corinth to stymie any sort of advance from west to east, because again, Atlanta is what I want to protect over here. That's pretty much in my rear of Nashville at this point. And then what do I do from Nashville on? I mean, what do I go for, up here to go for, what's the name of this? Cairo, or do I try to go for St. Louis? I mean, the bottom line is he's got so many forces that I could take Nashville and then, I could have the pick of going up into Kentucky or go for Cairo, and I probably wouldn't get very far. I don't know. And then the alternative, right, is to threaten DC, which is really the ideal move because he can't lose DC. He can lose Cairo, he can lose Nashville, he can't lose DC. But his forces now are so big up here. I mean, he's got a core here. He's got effectively a core here. And then he's got 10, 6, 13, basically 13,000 power right here between these three. I can't. I mean, even if I took my entire army here and went up the Shenandoah, there's no way I could take DC probably, let alone, I'd be cut off from all my supplies. So I don't see a situation here now at this point how I can maneuver to go on the offensive. I'll keep looking for opportunities, but I think at this point my strategy is going to remain, I just got to survive a year and a half, right? I just got to survive a year and a half. The Union was much further south in 1862 in real life than he is currently. So I gotta hope that I can hold out, delay enough, make it hard as hell for him to push through to the point where he's being forced, which he hasn't been forced to do this yet in this game, attack heavily fortified defensive positions either in mountains or behind rivers. And then hopefully there's a big enough morale swing for me winning those battles that he's not able to punch through, and we can win that way. So I think that's what we're going to do. It might be a little hopeful. I don't know. I mean, it's only June. Got to hold out another year and a half, which a lot can happen in a year and a half. So what I'm trying to do is get behind the river here, set up some defenses, and just kind of war of attrition, slowly force him to push me back. Okay, and then over here in Texas, it looks like he's making his move south. I don't know what he has exactly, but I'm pretty well dug in. I don't have the strongest of force down here, but it's a relatively decent force. I may end up just taking my division down at down here if he does take Vicksburg and it doesn't look like I can kind of hold him to bear up there. I may just move him over here and try and salvage this situation, since I'm guessing New Orleans will be the next target after he takes Vicksburg. Okay, so let's zoom out first. Zoom. Okay. So over here on the right is Virginia. I'll give you states. You got Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, and then the Mississippi, which is right here, and then Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana. Right. Here's the strategic map. then, as you can see, Nashville's right here. And then he's kind of right here at this river. This is Chattanooga. And this is Memphis right here. And then down here, where that little number 10 down right here is Vicksburg. So we're holding right here against this area right here, which is Chattanooga, and then right here. And the reason is that if he takes Memphis, he can then hit my left flank and then kind of really push all the way to Chattanooga that way. That's why Memphis is so important. That's why I'm holding behind there. And the same thing with the mountains, obviously, right? Because that's the quickest route to Chattanooga, but also the most difficult because of the mountainous terrain and the rivers. It's just really hard for the Union to push through there. And then, so what he's decided, he's going to land in Vicksburg, get in my rear, and then kind of go from there, because from there you can follow this rail line all the way up to Atlanta. So overall numbers, he has lost almost 200,000. We have lost 180,000. So we're definitely getting up there with the realistic numbers of how many soldiers were lost in the Civil War. I suspect that things are going to get really nasty in 1865 as he gets desperate to try and take Atlanta, and I get desperate to hold, so he can't get to Atlanta. And so I think the casualties are going to be even higher. Our morale is 124. His is 102, which is insane. Stupid. We've taken 27,000 prisoners, and obviously foreign intervention is stupid in this game, and so I don't really care about it. And then overall builds, just really quick, in militia, artillery, and then what I have that I can spend, because again our freaking inflation's insane, is right in here, and then artillery. I mean, I'm telling you, man, he's got so many troops. He could just grind me down relentlessly, and I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. So it's good that he's not attacking me right now, because I would not be able to replenish the loss of troops. Alright, so let's simulate the turn and then see what happens down in Vicksburg. And before I do that, I don't think these battles are of consequence.